Well, for more on this, Tarik Oguzlu joins us now from Istanbul. He's a professor of international relations at Istanbul Aydin University. Welcome back to the program, Professor. Antony Blinken has pledged ongoing support and solidarity during this earthquake disaster. At times like these, any differences that the US and Turkey may have are set aside for now, aren't they?
I think it's not that much easier to put all kinds of problems between the two countries, somehow forgetting the fact that these two countries have experienced so many important challenges in recent years. But we can also expect that during such kind of humanitarian crisis, the leaders of both countries, which are close allies with each other, show strong degree of support and sympathy with each other. So the best expectation we could offer in this regard is that given the psychological improvement in bilateral relations, we might expect a boost in a Turkish-American bilateral relationship. Maybe that might provide a kind of catalysis in such a way to push the leaders of the two countries to find solutions to their problems in a much more satisfactory manner. But again, the problems are there, they remain, they are not difficult, they are not easy that much to solve. It will take lots of time for the leaders of the two countries to put great effort in finding a solution to their problems. But this earthquake has made it very clear that Turkey's allies within NATO have demonstrated a great degree of empathy towards Turkish people. So they have done actually most to help Turkey cope with this particular problem successfully. So I think this Western help has already been noted by Turkish decision makers quite positively. So that might provide a kind of background atmosphere in such a way to make everything much more comfortable or less difficult to deal with. Let me put it this way.
Yes, how would you describe the current state of relations between Turkey and the United States? You said that the two countries have several issues of disagreement right now. Tell us a bit about what those disagreements are.
Actually, the most important problem between the two countries concerns the membership of Finland and Sweden into NATO. As you all know that since last May, these two countries have applied to join the club, but Turkey remains the only country, and if we exclude Hungary for a while, somehow blocking, quote unquote, the membership of these two countries, is saying that there are many important reasons for Turkey to somehow oppose the membership of these two countries. But on the other hand, we know that the US and other members of NATO are quite committed to the idea that these two northern countries be given full membership, the sooner the better. That's one side of the story. On the other hand, we know that Turkey and the United States are at odds with each other concerning the selling of F-16 warplanes to Turkey. We know that the President Biden himself, the Secretary of State Blinken himself are quite supportive of this idea. They try to do their best to make sure that Turkey be given these weapons. But on the other hand, the Senate, the members of Congress seem to be quite reluctant to this idea. But this causes another tension in bilateral relations. And finally, maybe not the most important, but a very important one concerns the diametrically different opinions of these two countries concerning the solution of the crisis in Syria. And Turkey regards PKK and PKK-affiliated groups in northern Syria as potential threats to its security, whereas the United States appears to approach these people as a kind of semi-ally in its fight against Daesh. So lots of problems exist between the two countries, but we also know that Turkey somehow is in the middle of a political election season, so it might be quite difficult for Turkish leaders to comply with each and every kind of quote-unquote demands or expectation on the part of its allies within NATO. But let's see how it evolves. It's not that much easy to find a satisfactory solution to the problems in the near future. No matter Turkey and the United States appear to be on a kind of a positive mood concerning this American aid to Turkey's efforts to deal with this earthquake problem.
Yes, it's interesting because Antony Blinken's visit to Turkey is seen by some as long overdue. In fact, it's his first trip to Turkey in the 2 years he's been Secretary of State. In contrast, his predecessors, Hillary Clinton, Rex Tillerson, made a trip to Turkey 3 months after they became Secretary of State. Perhaps that underscores the strained nature of the relationship between Turkey and the US right now. But we know that Blinken is due to visit Ankara. He'll meet with Mevlut Cavusoglu once more and other Turkish officials. No doubt the earthquake disaster will dominate discussions, but do you expect other issues to be raised as well, such as the Ukraine war and the issue of NATO expansion, as you mentioned?
That's a very important point, the point you have already underlined. As we all know that Secretary Blinken came to Turkey after giving a talk in Munich, in the part of this Munich Security Conference. And in that particular talk, he had very much underlined the point that the United States, the most important ally within NATO, and all other members of NATO are quite committed to defeating Russia, and also suggesting that the countries who choose to be on the fence rather than taking clear position in the ongoing problem would not that much be tolerated in some way or another. So United States and other members of NATO alliance are very much committed to the idea that Ukraine should win this war decisively and Russia be punished decisively. So far they have somehow quote unquote tolerated many other countries which have refused to take a significant part in this ongoing problem. And Turkey has been one of those countries, no matter we are a member of NATO for 70 decades. So this might cause, maybe I'm speculating, a kind of tension between the two countries, and how long the Americans would continue to tolerate somehow Turkey's position in the Ukrainian-Russian conflict is a point that might come to official agenda of discussions in Ankara or later on. This might cause a tension because we all know that Turkey is not that much supportive of the idea that Russia should be decisively defeated in this war in Ukraine. Russia's concerns and priorities should also be taken into account because Russia is a very important country for us. So we have to get along with Russia quite well. So you cannot find a solution to this problem by eliminating Russian priorities and concerns decisively. This might cause a great degree of tension in Turkish-American relationship, I guess.
Okay, Professor Tarik Oguzlu, we will have to leave it there, but always great to get your analysis. Thank you again for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.